Miss Lauren's really good at backing in.
Hello?
Alrighty. Hard to do this one-handed. This button right here turns on a lot of our headlights and bulbs and stuff so we can check to make sure nothing's burnt out. We got our turn signals, got our marker lights so we can see how big the bus is in the dark. We got amber lights, we got 8-way red lights. I'm bus W12, or my route is W12. We like to stand way back and take a look and make sure we don't have any flat tires, make sure the bus isn't leaning to the left or the right. Here's where the exhaust comes out. It's very warm and very stinky. You want to see tires? We got tires. We need some white wall tires is what we need though. This is the fuse box. We're in here a lot when we're installing the camera systems and the CB radios. This reflector means that there's an on-off switch in here, so if you have to turn off the batteries, you go in here, you flip this switch, and we have a lot of batteries in here. Ooh, it's raining. Probably not a good time to do this. Every morning we dump the trash can. It's got a magnet on there. A lot of stuff on this bus is magnetic. Only because I add magnets to everything, but everything on the bus is metal. Once a day I try to take a really focused look at all parts of the seats. If you find that somebody has poked a hole or written on it, and you go, I have no idea when that happened, you'll never find the video of that. There's my cup holder. That's my foggy window wiper. Window cleaner, wet wipes, paperwork, 4 different kinds of flashcards, masking tape for helping to assign seats, headache medicine basically, post-it note holder with a magnet. Everything's magnetic. Magnets on my pen, super important. The window rattles when it's partially open, so that stops the rattle. More magnets. Temperature gauge in the bus, from the back of the bus, the front of the bus, which is tied to the sensor for that is back here. That way I have some idea of what the kids are feeling back here. There is no air conditioning, so it's really just turning on the heat or turning off the heat. The other day, one of the drivers referred to my seat cover as a New York cabbie seat cover. The seat cover is supposed to help keep you cooler, but more than anything, it just holds the tissue box. I love getting artwork to hang, and the little kids, the pre-K and the kindergartners right behind me, like to do the scissors and snowflakes. So I just dropped off the high school kids, still on the curb in case any of them forget something. They can run back out to see if I found it. Ooh. Umbrellas, forgotten Chromebooks, forgotten perfume. Just so happens that today I have a bubble maker. This is not a cell phone, it's just for alarms, so I know when to take off. Alright, we're off to get the middle schoolers. These are kind of fun. Most people don't know about these things. So we can get lots of ventilation here. We don't have any air conditioning on this bus. Down south they do, and some of our small buses do. Most of our small buses do, because a lot of kids with special needs can't regulate their body temperature. So we have a strobe light up there. If it's a hot day and it's not raining, we'll open the front half of the front one to let air force the air in here, and then it comes down, and in theory creates a suction that goes out the back part. But if we ever have to actually get kids out of here because the bus is laying on its side, it opens all the way. Whoops, dripping on my head. And then you could crawl out. We have a lot of different channels, but this is not a normal CB radio, so we don't get to talk to other people like truck drivers, and we talk to each other and our dispatch, and anything you say on here gets heard by everybody in the transportation, even my boss, the garage repair people, our dispatchers, every driver out there, every kid on every bus. So you can't be saying stupid stuff on there.
10-4, I'm running my route. I can't look at it until 7:30.
Just for fun. This is to have staring contests with the bus in front of us that's full of little kids at a stoplight. Here's my cheat sheet full of drivers' names and bus numbers and my stop times. By going down here, during the summer you don't want any heat getting in here. So as the weather's getting warm, you shut off the hot water so it doesn't go past this point and then circulate through the bus and heat it up any more than it has to. The front has heaters, but the heater for the rest of the bus is in the back here. It's got a filter, so the hot water runs through tubes in here. It's like a radiator and blows air past the radiator, and then you shut that off in the middle of summer. As far as lost and found goes, if you set anything down, make sure your name is on it. Water bottle, lunchbox, jacket. Just about every day something gets lost on the bus or left behind, and every bus does it differently. This is my system. We got 1,000 pens and pencils that never get claimed. Almost always a water bottle, and then some random toy usually. Snack time. Peanuts. Do us a favor and never touch the windows. And never put your face against the window. Getting stuck at red lights is one of the worst things that can happen, so you have to have a few tricks. Like flashcards or rock, paper, scissors. It's a work in progress, but we're also trying to get them to do the wave. Another is to get everybody to shake the whole bus so the people behind us are confused. Simon Says works well. Simon Says be quiet and sit down. Sometimes we'll pretend the snakes have taken over the bus and they're driving the I'm testing something out for rainy days where we put umbrellas in buckets. Now go sit down. Every bus in our fleet has a lockbox with a key in it, because lots of people need to move our buses. Mechanics need to get in there sometimes. I need to move another driver's bus if they're blocking me in. So every one of them has the exact same key. And I think that's universal across the country, depending on who makes the bus. So I think all Internationals probably have the same key. All Thomases probably have their own same key. All Bluebirds, etc.
022 to 020 early.
These Internationals have seats that pop up, which is really nice. Then you can get in there and find, ooh, a quarter. Thank you. The best part of that, you can make your own buckets. That's all my camera equipment. This is extra clothes and things for when it gets really hot. As I bike to work, I also need room for rain gear. And this one is mostly tools and cleaning supplies. Technically, we're not allowed to have these on here because when they do DOT inspections, they don't want anything that's not part of the bus to be on the bus. But a lot of times the inspectors never come up the stairs, so they only look to see what's on that side. So far I've been lucky, nobody's told me to get rid of them. Most of these buses don't have side visors. So again, more magnets. That helps a lot, like at 8 a.m. as the sun's coming up. This is our Wi-Fi router, and it only connects to school-approved devices. Under here is the latch for moving the seats. I find the best way to cool down without air conditioning is to just cover myself in water, but try not to look like I'm all sweaty. In fact, I'm actually trying to prevent sweat, and the black shirt does a good job of that. And in the afternoon, I'll probably have to do it twice. So between runs, I'll just pull over, wring these out, put them on, and we're good. Two very noisy fans I don't use because they don't really move much air. Buses are really, really noisy, and we're probably losing some of our hearing as drivers. But we stop at all the railroad tracks to listen for trains, and this noise suppression switch helps out because it turns off most of the noisy accessories like the fans and the radio and the CB, so then we can listen for any oncoming trains. So this is my gear for the camera department. That has a lot of cords and a couple monitors I can plug into the DVRs. This is a bag full of hard drives because we actually swap out hard drives whenever there's an issue. We don't get live feeds that get sent over like satellite, so we have to actually pull physical hard drives out of the DVRs. And we have a bunch of different models, so we have to carry all these different sizes. Actually, this is the wrong one. But these would slide in basically where that is. So every day we got guys that are getting hard drives off of buses that had an issue the day before, whether it was an accident or a kid doing damage or a parent accusing a driver of doing something. And we got to bring in the hard drive, hook it to the computer, isolate the video, pass it on to whoever needs it, and then we replace it with these extras. This particular bus has 5 cameras and 5 microphones. This one catches most of the bus. This one does a better job of getting some of the back where most of the problems tend to happen. My phone doesn't do a great job of simulating this one, but it can get the last 3 rows pretty well, all at the same time. I was trying to get the service door and some of the controls. The driver's seat is spring-loaded. And then there's a lever over here that lets it tilt and telescope the steering wheel. That's kind of a crazy position right there. Our numbering system shows the first 2 digits, which indicates a year. So this was put into service in 2016, 2017. This is when I'm getting ready to slow down at a bus stop. Turns on my yellows. As soon as I open the door, it automatically turns the yellows to reds. If we're driving along and another bus is picking up kids at a bus stop, we'll just draw attention to it and to us by turning on our reds, which opens up the stop sign and the crossing arm out there. But it keeps our doors shut. And then when they're done picking up, we just turn it off and keep moving. This is probably the most important tool I have on the bus. Jordan, sit down. Ahmad, sit down. Kaylee, stop walking on the seats. I tried to go the first couple of days of driving without using it, and I lost my voice, and the kids in the back just cannot hear you without it. My bus has 6 speakers spread out through the bus, and then a retrofitted one right underneath the dashboard. Look at all these buses, right? Squeegee is stowed right here. All magnets here. 3D printed some brackets. Some kids love to rub their faces against the seats. Please don't do that. Porta potties are super important. Our buses have a huge tail swing on them because the rear axle is so far forward that this creates a hazard whenever we do a tight turn. And we have the potential to smack a telephone pole, a car in an adjacent lane, or a kid that's walking down the sidewalk. So all of our elementary schools will divide the sidewalk with a yellow line. The side closest to the curb is a no walk zone. So our teachers and some of the older students are constantly telling the little kids to get against the wall and stay out of that no walk zone to avoid getting smacked. The worst case scenario is for a driver to pull off a curb trying to get around a bus that's right in front of them, and that tail swing sideswipes a kid. Magnetic post-it note holder. This is a reminder of how tall the bus is and how heavy it is for bridges and tunnels. This is for a body fluid kit for when somebody throws up or has a nosebleed. And then 1,000 Band-Aids. This sign is a reminder that the kids have to be 5 minutes early. I show up 1 minute late. That way we overlap. And if they're running, I'll wait for them. They can't tell me that they didn't know what time it was because every phone has the exact right time. One of my girls, Susie, doesn't always ride the bus. And if we can avoid her stop, it saves us some time. So when she gets on the bus, she checks in like at the office. Because sometimes I don't see her and she just comes in and sits down. All I do is look over here and I can see she's on the bus somewhere, and she loves doing that. Actually, the other kids are jealous. And so Jessica wanted her own, so she made that. And then Kaylee wanted her own, so we made that, although her magnet is missing. The kids love the magnets that hold up the pictures, and I hate when they steal them. In addition to the 2 roof hatches, there's also 4 windows. They're all alarmed when the bus is on. Now, midday iced coffee, headed to the high school. We have a system called the Child Check system that makes us walk to the back of the bus and look to make sure no kid has fallen asleep, because it does happen, especially the little ones. And then we push this button, and it turns all these lights to blink. That lets you know you've disarmed it, because if you don't do that, all kinds of alarms go off if you try to open that door and go home for the night. Here's what it sounds like if you don't disarm it. Locking up the bus is 3 steps. Lock the sliding window. Put the broom in the back door. Get the doors closed and then turn off the battery so they can't open that door. If you didn't turn off this battery, anybody be able to open that door, and anybody can open the back door if you don't block it, because they don't lock. Well, there you go. That's way more information than you need. Just enough to get you in trouble, just enough to impress your buddies. Hope you enjoy the bus ride.